Celtic are looking non-stop for players this transfer window, and now we have targeted an Italian international. We will discuss this exciting story in today's video, whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Melbourne City reportedly want to bring Marco Tillio back from Celtic and are looking into another loan or a permanent transfer. Sky Sports journalist Anthony Joseph reports that the A-League side are checking what conditions would allow them to make the move happen. Celtic signed Tillio in July 2023 for around £1.5 million, but he's already been back at Melbourne twice on loan since February 2024. Tillio has a strong link with Melbourne City. He won Young Player of the Year in Australia in the 2021 to 2022 season. His recent loan spells have helped him get back to regular football, and he's shown his qualities again in familiar surroundings. Now, Melbourne City are keen to keep him longer, possibly for good. At Celtic, chances have been limited. He arrived with potential, but has found it hard to break into the starting lineup. With several wide players already at the club, getting minutes has been tough. That's why a return to Melbourne made sense earlier this year. Now, the question is whether Celtic want to keep him in the squad, send him out again, or cash in. Celtic have a big squad and plenty of options in wide areas. Brendan Rodgers has used players like James Forrest, Dazen Maeda, and Yang Hyun-jun. That makes it hard for someone like Tillio to get a regular game. His style, which includes pace and good dribbling, is useful, but he's not had many chances to show it in Scotland. Melbourne City think he could be an important player for them again. They know what he brings and he knows the league well. A deal to bring him back would make sense for both sides, but it depends on the details. Celtic will want a fair fee if they agree to sell and might still believe he has something to offer in the future. Talks between the clubs are expected to continue. It's possible something could be sorted before the new A-League season starts in October. Now for the main story. Salvatore Esposito has become the latest name linked with a potential move to Celtic, with TBR Football suggesting the Hoops are monitoring the Italian midfielder ahead of a possible transfer. The 24-year-old, who operates mainly in a holding role but is comfortable playing further forward, has played in both Serie A and Serie B and even made a senior appearance for Italy. While his main position is as a defensive midfielder, Esposito has also featured as a number 8 and occasionally in a more attacking role. His experience includes a stint in Italy's top flight during the second half of the 2022 to 2023 season, although most of his playing time has come in the second tier. He made his debut for the Italian national team in June 2022, coming off the bench in a Nations League draw against England. The same report that mentions Celtic's interest also throws Rangers into the mix, which is a well-worn feature of transfer stories in Scotland. That type of link often pops up during the summer window and tends to raise eyebrows, given how different the approaches at the two clubs can be. It's the sort of rumour that sometimes seems designed to generate headlines more than reflect genuine negotiations. Adding to the sense of speculation is the list of English clubs supposedly keeping tabs on the player. Brighton, Burnley, Brentford, Fulham, Everton and Sunderland have all been name-checked, which can sometimes be a sign that agents or sources are trying to drum up wider interest rather than point to a specific move. There's no doubt that Esposito has qualities that could attract a club like Celtic. His age, flexibility in midfield and international background make him an interesting prospect, but at this stage there's little to suggest that anything is advanced or concrete. Supporters are well used to this type of transfer talk in July, and while it's not one to completely ignore, it's also not one to take as gospel just yet. In other news, Brendan Rodgers has confirmed that he held talks with Dermot Desmond over the summer, but insists there's still no update on his long-term future at Celtic. The Irishman is entering the final year of his 3-year contract, and while Celtic have plenty on their plate in terms of building a squad capable of Champions League impact, the manager's future now looms as a major narrative heading into the 2025 to 2026 campaign. At most clubs, discussions about a manager's future would involve the boardroom or chief executive. But at Celtic, where the power structure remains unique, it's the club's largest shareholder, Dermot Desmond, who holds the keys to the most critical decisions. Rodgers confirmed to The Sun that the expected summer sit-down with Desmond did take place. Rodgers said this: "Yes, we spoke with all the guys. I had a meal and a chat around a number of things. So yes, I had a nice meeting. We touch base on it, but it primarily is just a chat around things. Like I've said, It's still a long, long way out, but my focus is really just now getting the team ready and making us really competitive and exciting for this coming season. But a year's a long, long way out, he concluded. He reiterated that his focus remains solely on preparing for the new season. It's a calm exterior from Rodgers, but the situation is far from straightforward. In football, allowing a player to drift into the final year of a deal is always a risk. The same applies, perhaps even more so, with a manager. The absence of a new deal or any serious public movement on one raises questions the club or Brendan will eventually need to answer. If you leave a vacuum, it will be filled by something he's signed up for this season. But what happens beyond that point is still up in the air, and fans, along with the media, won't let the subject slide indefinitely. The longer clarity is delayed, the more speculation will mount. Celtic know that continuity breeds success, especially with the high turnover of players. If Rodgers is to be the long-term figurehead of the next Celtic cycle, then decisions will need to be made well before next summer. Dermot wants Rodgers to stay, but Brendan may look for another challenge at the end of this campaign. Lastly, Austin Trusty has posted on social media following the weekend's pre-season game where Celtic suffered a 3-2 defeat to Estrela da Amadora in Portugal. The American centre-back featured in the behind-closed-doors fixture on Saturday as Brendan Rodgers began to ramp up preparations for the 2025 to 2026 campaign. Trusty later took to Instagram on Sunday evening with a short message. "Good to be back." It's a simple line, but one that suggests the 25-year-old knows this could be a pivotal season in his Celtic career. Signed last summer for £6 million from Sheffield United, Trusty arrived with expectations. The club had fought off English interest to bring him to Glasgow on a long-term deal, and he was almost immediately thrust into the heart of the defence. However, his debut season in Scotland, the 2024 to 2025 double-winning campaign, was far from straightforward. While Trusty played his part, he was never fully able to cement a first-choice role, with Brendan Rodgers frequently rotating between him and Liam Scales. It was a partnership that never truly settled, and fans were often left uncertain about who their most reliable defensive duo actually were. Trusty's only appearance in a Glasgow derby came in the League Cup final, a dramatic game that Celtic eventually won on penalties, but Trusty didn't see the full 90, pulled at half-time in a move that raised eyebrows. That moment, combined with some inconsistent showings, means the jury remains out for many supporters. There's no denying his physical presence and athleticism, but questions linger over his positional sense and ability to lead from the back in high-pressure matches. Heading into the 2025 to 2026, Trusty needs a statement season. With the potential of Champions League football and Rodgers expected to be more ruthless in selection, he'll have to show more consistency and composure if he's to live up to his hefty transfer fee. For now, the message is clear. He's fit, focused and ready to go again. Whether he can finally win the trust of the Celtic support remains to be seen. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.